Okay, I want to close out this chapter with a quick discussion on some Photoshop productivity techniques. I don't know where your level of comfort lies with Photoshop. Maybe you're an expert, you've been using Photoshop for years and years, or who knows, maybe you're brand new to Photoshop. I have no idea. But what I do want to make sure of is I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're all working with Photoshop at generally the same level. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to bounce a bunch of keyboard shortcuts off of you, a bunch of techniques, a bunch of productivity tricks, just to make sure we're all kind of working at the same speed. Because once we start working with building our layouts and working with our design and so on, I want to make sure that we're all at the same pace, right? So first of all, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tap the F key on my keyboard. And what that does is that throws me into Photoshop's full screen mode, which I love. I love working inside Photoshop's full screen mode. Here's a bunch of other zooming and navigation related techniques for you. If you want to zoom in on your image, you can hit Control or Command plus. If you want to zoom out on your image, hit Control or Command minus, nice and easy. Or what you can do is you can hold down Control or Command plus your space bar, and that switches you or toggles you temporarily to your zoom tool. You can see my cursor is now changed to a magnifying glass tool. And I can single click to zoom in, or I can even click and drag to zoom in. And now I zoom all the way in on my image, right? Or what you can do is you can hold down Control and Spacebar or Command and Spacebar here on the Mac. And then PC users throw in Alt, Mac users throw in Option, and now the plus inside my magnifying glass changes to a minus sign, and if I single click, then I can zoom all the way out on my image. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, here's another quick one for you. I apologize for racing through these so quickly, but I want to get through this here. I'm going to zoom in on my image, zoom in however you like, Control or Command plus if you like, or you can use Control or Command spacebar. Now just try holding down spacebar by itself, and that toggles you to the hand tool, which when I click and drag with my mouse allows me to pan through my image, just like that. That's another neat trick there for you. Okay? Very cool stuff. Now, here's a few others very quickly for you. If I hit the Tab key on my keyboard, that disables my toolbar and all of my panels. Hit Tab again, everything comes back to life, including the application bar across the top and the options bar across the top as well. So Tab, that's kind of a neat one if you want to toggle into full screen mode. Sometimes your toolbox and your panels kind of get in the way as you're building your layouts and so on. Oh, another neat trick too, by the way, is if I hit Shift and then Tab. That will keep the options bar across the top and the application bar across the top activated as well. Kind of neat. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so hopefully that's all good. Now, the other thing that I can do, and again, I'm going to keep this really short and simple, short and sweet, is all of the tools, or I should say the majority of the tools inside the toolbox have a keystroke equivalent. For instance, if I hover my mouse over top of the Move tool, notice the tooltip says Move tool, and then in brackets it has a single character, V. Right? So if I tap the V key on my keyboard, that would switch me to this tool if I didn't have it activated already. Or if I move down to the Marquee tool, I can see Rectangular Marquee tool and then in brackets M, meaning that if I tap the M key on my keyboard, that switches me to the Marquee tool. Back to V for the Move tool, and so on. Now, I don't know them all, but I know a lot of them. H for hand, the Z key or Z key on my keyboard to switch to the Zoom tool. There's all kinds of different ones. P for the pen tool, and S for my stamp tool, and C for crop, and so on and so on and so on, right? So as we start working along, if I say tap your V key on your keyboard or tap your M key on your keyboard, that's what I'm talking about. And by the way, here's another neat trick. We saw this in the preferences earlier. If I tap the M key to switch over to my Marquee tool, and then I hold down Shift and I hit M again, that switches me to the elliptical Marquee tool. Holding down Shift and tapping M again switches me back to the rectangular Marquee tool, right? These are all tools that are hidden underneath the rectangular marquee tool. So just clicking and holding there, I get this tool flyout, right? Same with the lasso tool, for instance. L, tap the L key, hold down Shift, tap L again, tap L again, tap L again, right? That's how I can go and access all these different tools. Here's another one. C, hold down Shift, C again, C again, C again, right? So you can literally toggle through all the different tools that are available there, okay? So I definitely wanted to let you in on that at least. So there you go. Now, there's tons of other Photoshop productivity techniques and tricks, but I'll definitely make sure to note them as we go along, as we work our way through Photoshop. There's lots and lots of them. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll be a Photoshop expert and you'll know how to customize WordPress themes at the same time.